season, and it's certainly going to be a thrilling fixture here at this venue. Hohoe United will be hosting top of the table Medeama Sporting Club. Hohoe United, they return to their fortress for the first time since match day 6, where they lost to Adiana FC, and they'll be hoping to turn their fortunes around as far as survival in the top flight is concerned. My name is Josiah Kukwen. We are proudly powered by Dewa 511, and you can end each day like a champion with Dewa 511. You just have to wind down to 7 p.m. each day and always have this odds stacked in your favor. So with just 5 Ghana cedis, you can multiply your stake by a whooping 5,000 odds, and that's with a 4 direct, and then also with a 5 direct, you can multiply your stake by a whooping 50,000 odds with the Dewa 539 direct. All you have to do is to dial star 446 hash and you will be a champion. You can also visit dewa-nla.com to play this game, and don't forget that we are live on TV3, live on Onia, and also streaming live on at the Surplus. And you can follow the Ghana Premier League on Snapchat across the various social media handles or platforms, Snap, and then also IGXL Ghana League. You can follow us, and then also on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, it's the Ghana Premier League. So we're building up towards the stellar Saturday thrilling fixture here at the Hohoe Stadium. Hohoe United are facing Medeama Sporting Club. There's quite a lot for you right after this commercial break.
Everyone to watch them, man.
Even watches Ghana football these days.
Thanks for staying with us. It's still stellar Saturday here at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. The rain's coming down gradually and the temperatures keep on dropping. The weather quite good as well, because both sets of teams are still training. They are still warming up for the upcoming crunch game. Hohoe United taking on league leaders Medeama Sporting Club. And I've been joined at pitchside by former head coach of Hohoe United, Alfred Nelson, and then also Francis Aboibo Blackgate. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and welcome.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon,
Josiah. So let's start off with a story from match day 8 of the Ghana Premier League, where it all started yesterday at the Nana Fosu Park. It was a goalless stalemate between Nations FC that went visiting Bichim United. Alfred, the sort of result you would have hoped for in that game?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be difficult because Nations, they have a new coach in Frimpong Manso, and it always works that way. When you change a coach, all the players would want to play for you. Everybody wants to die for you. So it wasn't really a surprise to me. I think they were resilient at the back and they were resolute. So it didn't come to me as a surprise, the draw game.
Interesting. But Francis Aboibo Blackgate, yesterday was the first time Coach Stephen Frimpong Manso was in a dugout for Nations FC, and he could only manage 1 point in that game away at Bichim.
Well, Josiah, if you are an ardent follower of the Ghana Premier League, you know that in the past, Nana Fosu Park used to be a den, it's a fortress, a no-go zone area for all the away teams in the Ghana Premier League. But this season, they are really struggling to put together decent results. This season, they've only won one game. That's against Vision FC.
Yeah.
So for Nations FC themselves, they've been all over the place. No wonder Coach Kasim Mingle has been shown that his marching orders, the exit door. But yesterday, they just need to stop the rot and start playing some fantastic stuff. And for the very first time this season, they tried to get a decent result on the road. They didn't win, but at least they left Nana Fosu Park with a solitary point. They'll build upon that, because we all have seen the blueprint of Coach Frimpong Manso when he was with Bibiani Gold Stars. He won the league for them last season. So it's early days yet for Nations FC, but I think it wasn't a dull 0-0 stalemate. I think both teams bring on board something for the fans to enjoy. But at the end of the day, they just have to split the points among themselves.
Interesting. So mixed weather conditions here. It's a bit sunny, but it's still pouring here at the Hohoe Stadium in Hohoe, where we are building up to that stellar Saturday thrilling fixture between Hohoe United and then also Medeama Sporting Club. But then on your screens currently are pictures from yesterday's game played at the Nana Fosu Park. Both teams have them puffed, but then the spoils were shared after 90 minutes. That was a glorious chance that was missed there by the home side, Bichim United. But then let's take our focus to the upcoming games in the Ghana Premier League. We take a look at the fixtures for match day 8 of the Ghana Premier League. Kumasi Asante Kotoko are back in town after unfortunately losing out of the group stages in the CAF Confederations Cup. They'll be taking on Karela United. We'll be taking a look at all the fixtures coming up for match day 8 before we delve deeper into our featured match for today. But Kotoko, let's talk a bit about Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Francis, after that woeful performance in Africa, they are back home tomorrow against Karela United.
Well, you look at...
All right, Francis, not to heckle you, but let's go through the fixtures for now. So yesterday confirmed a stalemate between Bichim United and Nations FC. But then later tomorrow, there'll be more games coming up. Asante Kotoko will take on Karela United. Brekum Chelsea against Vision FC. Dreams will host Sama Texas. Red All Blacks against Kpando Heart of Lions. The Bibiani Gold Stars against Young Apostles. Accra Heart of Oak will be going to the Ampin AAK Stadium to face Basake Oli Stars. And then 11 Wonders up against Indiana. Francis, quite some top fixtures, but then also the table after 7 match days. So Medeama have their spirits high entering into this game. Just one defeat and one draw to their names. They have 16 points. Indiana, Heart of Lions, and Bibiani Gold Stars all completing the top 4. Heart of Oak find themselves in 6th place, and then Nations FC have got 9 points to complete the top half of the table. Now to the bottom, Hohoe United, we'll be talking about them in a bit. They are 11th with 8 points, but then the drop zone has got Dreams, 11 Wonders, and then also Basake Holy Stars. Francis Aboibo.
Well, you look at the
up front, Francis Aboibo?
Well, you look at the team sheet he put out today. It's a typical 4-3-3 formation, and that speaks about only one thing. He wants to play free-flowing attacking football, and he wants to play something for the fans to enjoy. The last time they played here, they lost to Medeama Stars by 2-0 in a game that they played very well in the first half. They came back in the second half and nothing worked out for them, and they ended up conceding those 2 goals from Medeama Stars. This afternoon, John Alosode is back into the starting 11. You look at Captain Safiano Usman. The last time they beat Karela here, he was at the heart of everything that they did. He popped up with a brace. Senati scored a beautiful free kick here as well. Then this afternoon, Anani Keke David comes in for Ganiu Abbas, and as well as Francis Odum as well. So if you look at what he's doing, he has tweaked the formation. Last weekend they lost to all
right, Francis, I'll get back to you, but then the away coach, that's Ibrahim Tanko, the head coach for Medeama Sporting Club, is also ready to speak. He's spoken about the fact that they'll be missing Fuzi, but then they expect former Hearts of Oak midfielder Salim Adams to step in his shoes.
No, it's a big blow, but I think those who are representing him are doing well. I think Salim Adams started 2 games and he did very well. So let's hope that today will continue.
A win for you today?
Yeah, we are coming for the 3 points, definitely. And we'll see how the game went. And if we have to take points, then why not?
Thank you very much. Wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, so Ibrahim Tanko is the gaffer for Medeama Sporting Club. He's spoken about the absence of Fuzi in midfield, but he believes Salim Adams has got that, technique and also ability to replace him. But then that's the formation. Ritsaki Jacob Abu in the heart of midfield. Salim Adams will be slotted into that DM role alongside Mante and then also Owusu. But then up front, that's where the far power is for them. Kelvin Nkrumah and then also the other Owusu together with Salam. That's a tough one, Alfred.
Medeama, they play with isolation, and when they build up from the right, that means they'll switch the ball to the left side. The one who gets the ball on the left, there will be an underlap for him to go, then they put the ball through. So if Hohoe United are able to deal with those situations, then we are going to have a good game here in Hohoe Sports Stadium. They try to create an overload in midfield a lot. There are certain areas they create an overload as well. So when Hohoe United are able to look at those 2 key things and they are able to match them very well, it will be a very difficult game for Medeama. But for here, I see Hohoe winning at all costs because they have their fans behind them. The spirit
It's the same place they lost with Diana a couple of weeks ago. They were here.
Yes, it happens in football. They played very well. I watched the highlights and I think they played very well in the first half. They came and everything changed in the second half. So I think when they are able to deal with those situations, they will be able to get all 3 points today. But it's going to be an end-to-end action here because we have Mamadou Kamadini and they have the left back from 11 Wonders. They like to overlap a lot. So they give them a lot of options when they are going forward. So those things are what Hohoe United need to watch out for.
Now, he's spoken about the quality of Salim Adams. We've seen Salim Adams, throughout, his time at Accra Hearts of Oak. What quality and addition does he bring to this Medeama team?
He has a lot of qualities. Overall, he's one of the finest players you can find in the Ghana Premier League. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He has that in his locker. He can shoot from long range. We've seen him score some cracking goals for Accra Hearts of Oak in the league. And he's someone that can glide or slide through decent premium chances into attacking channels for the strikers, Kelvin Nkrumah, Abdul Salam, and Prince Owusu to feed on. So for Hohoe United, they've got to be very cautious. They've got to keep an eye on him. The team that will have a bigger chance of winning this game will have to have a bigger chunk of possession in central midfield. It's how you dictate the tempo of the game, how disciplined you are. Tactically, you have to have the game in sight, and you need not to be caught out of position. Because if you are short in numbers, you might just be caught, because he spoke about the overloads on the flank. That's when John Alosode and Prince Amevo needs to play a critical role in terms of dealing with the flank, the wingers of Medeama in this particular game, because they've thrived on that. That's one of their weapons. And if you are not able to deal with such threats, they can be able to hurt you. And for Hohoe United to win this game, players like Sena Ati.
Let me quickly take your prediction, because the players are readying up. They are in the tunnel and they are poised for action. Quickly, your prediction, Francis Aboibo.
Well, it will be a tough game, but I expect Hohoe United to win at least by 2-1 at the end of 90 minutes.
Interesting. Let me take yours, Alfred Nelson.
2-0 and 1-0 for Hohoe United.
2-0 and 1-0. So my pundits have their money on Hohoe United, but don't forget, we are powered by Dewa 539. So you can end your day, even today, like a champion with Dewa 539 direct. Just wind down. At 7 p.m., you could be a winner with numbers from 1 to 39. The odds always stack in your favor. So with as little as 5 sitters, you could multiply your stake by 5,000. That's a 4 direct. And then also the 50,000 odds could be multiplied by your stake. All you have to do is to dial *446# and you could play, or visit dewa-nla.com to play this game. My name is Josel Kokwe and we are certainly getting ready for action. Nana Dakwa JC is our commentator for today, but right after this break.
Hello everyone, pleasant welcome to the Hohoe Sports Stadium. It's a big one between Hohoe United FC and then Medeama Sporting Club. Hohoe are coming into this game from back-to-back defeats, having suffered 2 defeats on the bounce in their last 2 games. Medeama are on top of the Premier League. They come into this game from a win in their last game. They are hoping to keep up with the momentum in their quest to win their 2nd Premier League title. For Hohoe United, the focus is to get back to winning ways and also keep that dream of staying in the Ghana Premier League on course. If you just joined us, welcome to the Hohoe Sports Stadium. This is our coverage of the Ghana Premier League Match Day 8 fixture between the home side, Hohoe United, and the visiting Medeama Sporting Club. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse. Together with Josiah Okokwe, we will be your commentators for this afternoon's fixture here in Hohoe. They've turned up in their numbers. You know, the strength of this team has primarily been the force behind the support base, something that worked positively for them in their qualification to the Ghanaian top flight. This place was a fortress for them, and the fans remain a backbone of this Hohoe United setup. Unfortunately for them, the last time they played a game here in Hohoe, they lost by 2-0 against Medeama, and they want to get back to winning ways because they don't want to keep disappointing the fans here in Hohoe. One of two teams representing the region in the Ghanaian top flight. Just nearby Kwando are their neighbors. So, two big teams in the Volta region. One, a very known force in Hearts of Lions, and the new force, Hohoe United. When they qualified for the Premier League, the aim was to stay in it, at least for their first season. And Medeama Sporting Club and Hohoe emerged out of the tunnel. Medeama in their yellow and mauve, Hohoe United in black and red jerseys here at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. Big game from the Hohoe perspective, Josiah.
That's what you see. Good afternoon to you, and it's certainly a big game here. And it's always a big game whenever Hohoe United get to play in front of their fans. But it was disappointment for them. You know, the last time they played here against the Guyana Stars, they played so well, but unfortunately, the most important thing eluded them after 90 minutes. And today they are hopeful. I had a discussion with the head coach, and he believes that they must approach this game with the right mentality if they would really want to make this place a fortress. And I believe that that's what they are out for this afternoon.
Both teams parading familiar faces from the teams they've been using in their last couple of games. Medeama have made no single change, and Hohoe United makes just 2 changes to the team that lost the last game. Felix Che will lead his charges for the pre-match formalities before kickoff here in Hohoe. Medeama have been in an amazing form in this season's Premier League. They've lost just a game in the campaign this term. They'll be hoping to give the home side, Hohoe United, a good run for their money, and obviously be motivated by the fact that Guyana could come here and back maximum points, and so why can't they? They might just be thinking, we are capable of doing this. Our referee for today is Jacob Aduntra. He's assisted on the lines by Akisiboku George and then Michael Abanyingaya. Nathan Anafo is our 4th referee for this afternoon's game here in Hohoe.
Certainly a tough game, especially for Medeama Sporting Club. And, you know, one of the things that could really motivate them in this game is the fact that a win for them will still stay at the top of the table, a place they really enjoyed for larger parts of the season.
And it was interesting to see the two coaches engaging a chat for over 30 minutes before kickoff. The two captains will get to choose where the teams will be playing from. Hohoe United's captain Usman wins the toss. He gets to choose where they will play from. That's the Hohoe United lineup. Goalkeeper Kweku Musa is in post. At right back is Amevo. At left back is Alosode, Kwame Paul and Solomon Adumako in central defense. Amega Senior and Osman in a 3-man midfield with Sena Ati, David Anani and Felix Odum completing a 3-man attack for coach TJ's side this afternoon.
Yeah, that's a tough lineup. That's a strong one from Tijani Bashiru, and the strength would always be in that defense. You know, Kwame Paul being partnered by Adumako.
Medeama makes no single change to the team that won last weekend. Felix Che in post. Desmond Baffa left back. Kamaruddin Mahmoud, the goal scorer from last week, is a right back. Amu Jacob and Rich Saki in central defense. Manuel Mante returns to take his place in midfield after the injury to Fuzi. He plays alongside Owusu and Salim Adams, with Prince Owusu, the Black Stars player, playing alongside Abdul Salam and Kelvin Nkrumah in a three-man attack by coach Ibrahim Tanko's charges.
Exactly, and the spotlight will definitely be on Salim Adams. He replaces Fuzi, and he's been tasked to just drive this team. And they will be playing through him. His strength has to do with the fact that he can't control ball even under the pressure, and also find his teammates in those wide areas. And today, definitely, all eyes will be on him to drive this team to victory here.
All eyes will be on him to drive this team to victory. Medeama up against Hohoe United. Anytime they play, it's party time in Hohoe, and when they win, then it goes to another level.
Yeah, especially looking at the fact that it's still a Saturday kickoff, so it's going to be great in town if Hohoe United could carry the day.
All set and we're ready to go here at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. It's Hohoe United up against Medeama Sporting Club on match day 8 of the Ghana Premier League. Aduntra puts the whistle to his mouth. There we go, game underway here at the Hohoe Stadium. It's Medeama who kicks off, and Salim Adams with a long ball inside. Is an early one, but it's not going to trouble Kweku Musa. Here is Solomon Adomako. One of the experienced players in this Hohoe United setup. Here is Kwame Paul. Sends the long one away. And Medeama will take possession. Desmond Bafo, Salim Adams, all the way back to Rich Saki. Jacob Amumensa. Here is Desmond Bafo. He looks for support. Abdul Salam. Referee's whistle. He wants to ensure that it's the right ball under the right conditions. I think he's asking for a change of the ball for a new one to be used.
Yes, it was right after that touch, Abdul Salam. He just noticed that after his very first touch in this game, and he's asking for the ball to be changed. And you could see that the surface is a bit slippery after that downpour earlier on, and I believe that's the reason why we've not really seen them in full charge.
Here is Kamaruddin Mahmoud. Good ball from Salim Adams. It's Kamaruddin on this bite, but just can't get to it. Throwing Hohoe United.
That looked like a perfectly weighted pass, but like I said, it's a slippery surface. The ball would be running, much quicker than intended, and that's why these players would have to adjust, their passing techniques, and maybe the power behind these balls would be very, very crucial as the game progresses.
Alassane to take the free kick. Sends one in, and that's what to find Anane. It's still Hohoe in possession. Felix Odum. Cross comes in. Away by Rich Saki. Kwame Paul. Kelvin Nkrumah. Kwame Paul is trying desperately to keep that one in, but they end up conceding a throw-in. Amu Mensah to Saki. Poor ball from Amu Mensah. He was aiming at one of those front men, but the accuracy behind it, questionable.
Yeah, questionable the accuracy, but it's quite palpable. But teams are struggling to find grip, especially in midfield. And it's typical of Medeama to hold on to the ball and, move wide, with a single pass, just break the lines. But we've not really seen that so far.
Adomako. Salim Adams to Desmond Bafo. Salim will switch to Kamaradini Mamodu. Good clearance away by Amega. There's an appeal for a foul in favor of Hohoe, but Aduntra doesn't seem to be interested in those calls. Prince also gives away possession. Prince Amevo. Here is Sana Ati. So Daniel Osei. Anani. Ball is cleared away by Amu Mensah. Impressive incursion from Hohoe United.
That was a good pass into the box. Very, very direct. Just one turn. Had to beat the defender after dropping the shoulder. Just took a second. He went by with that ball into the box, but that was good clearance as well from Medeama.
Here is Prince Owusu to Kelvin Nkrumah. One of Medeama's best players this season in Nkrumah. Manolo Owusu's long one in, but he goes straight to Kweku Musa.
He's struggling to find the connect so far for Medeama. It's understandable. It's early minutes into the game, and you really expect them, to come guns blazing against this formidable Hohoe United when they are playing at home. Certainly not, but I think we've not really seen much from Salim Adams so far.
Good play from Hohoe. Here is Usman. He sends across. It's a chance for Hohoe, and it's the opening goal. Hohoe United have opened the scoring here, and Medeama are down by 1. Francis Odum arriving at the right place at the right time. 6 minutes into the game, and Hohoe United have jumped into the lead. Well wet goal, brilliant passing play, and he had to be at the place just at the right time to beat Felix Che to this one, to make it 1-0 for Hohoe United FC here at the Hohoe Sports Stadium.
That was a great goal scored by Francis Odum. We spoke about the slippery nature of the pitch, and we spoke about traction missing for both teams, and just one pass into a wide area, another direct ball. Earlier on we saw one again, but this time it found it intended, player, and it was just one cool tap that went straight past Che, and you wouldn't fall Che. It's just slippery, too slippery for him to dive down and just save that one on time.
Hohoe up by 1 already here. Tall order for Ibrahim Tanko's charges. Owusu, Amu Mensah, Bafo, Emmanuel Owusu. Couldn't quite get Abdul Salam, but frustration setting in for Prince Owusu. He goes in to commit the foul. The hands Hohoe United a free kick just around the circle.
And they need to be careful now, Medeama Sporting Club. They really need to be careful. Others where it's just so easy to play into the hands of your opponent, and that's what Hohoe United want. An early goal to unsettle the nerves now, and now they will want to do now is to control, some departments of the game, especially in midfield and also when they are in transition. But for Medeama, they just need to be careful. Just look at that. That's bumping into him, Prince Owusu. A bit needless, but physical from the Medeama midfielder.
The league leaders have been pegged back here in Hohoe at the trail. Hohoe United by a long goal scored by Odum on the 6-minute mark. How they react. Crucial to their chances of equalizing and going on to win this game, Medeama.
And it's telling so far for Medeama, but this is where they try to push, you know, their fullbacks forward, especially Kamarudin Mahmoud, and you might not see him doing lots of defending because they would want to create overload in the wide areas.
Here is Owusu. Salim caught ball watching. Now Sena Ati. The giveaway possession. Emmanuel Owusu trying to pick out Kelvin Nkrumah. Can he get to it? He's up against Kwame Paul. Bafu wants support. Nkrumah hangs on it. Kwame Paul wins it and is a clean tackle from the centre back. Manuel Mante gives away possession. Chance for Medeama, the drive goes in, and Kweku Musa with a very brilliant save to deny Medeama the equalizer. Emmanuel Owusu trying his luck from that distance.
Oh, what a hit that was, what a hit that was. Trying to cut Musa off guard, but you know, they found it so difficult to penetrate into, you know, the third half, especially making touches even in the 18-yard box, and this time from about 30 yards out, he just hit that one with some venom. But good job done by Musa.
Emmanuel Owusu already with 2 goals in the Premier League, having scored 1 against Vision and also against Nations. Gets ready for the corner kick, he swings on to the far post, and it's a good catch by Kweku Musa. Very commanding goalkeeping from the Hohoe shot stopper.
Yeah, good catch, but not the best of deliveries by Medeama. And these are the chances that need to be put in at the back of the net. You know, just look at that, crowded, but then he leaped so high just to grab that one. Wouldn't take any chances at all with that ball.
10 minutes in Hohoe. Hohoe United 1, Medeama 0. Massive goal for them as they look to return to winning ways. They disappointed the fans the last time when Medeama beat them. They also drew against Young Apostles at this venue, and they want to make amends by replicating those performances they exhibited against the likes of Karela and All Blacks at this venue. They beat Karela by 4 goals to 1 here, Hohoe, and also beat All Blacks by 2 goals to 0. Anytime they've scored at this venue, they've not lost.
It's been crucial, they've not lost. The only time they dropped points was against Young Apostles, where they scored first, but then ended up dropping points, which, you know, they ensured wouldn't happen again.
Sake. Here is Jacob Amu-Mensah. Salim. Hohoe United suddenly unable to string those passes together.
It's been very difficult for them.
Nkrumah tried to play the 1-2 with Bafo. Ati's header. Only as far as Amu-Mensah for the mauve and yellow. Here is Emmanuel Owusu. Manuel Mante. Now Bafo. Kelvin Nkrumah, very skillful on the ball. It's a good ball trying to pick out Owusu, but Adomako had to step up and intercept with that very delicate clearance. Senati clears out the danger. Saki's header. Calm and lovely control from Kamara Dini Mahmoud.
And you're looking at getting into your groove now, Medeama, and that's what you're trying to do now. They're very short passes now to just warm themselves into the game. They were caught sleeping the other time. They were just knocked hard with just one ball into a wide area. But now you're just getting into their groove. Just intricate short passes, but you're dominating the midfield areas now.
Here is Jacob Amu-Mensah to Bafo. Poor touch from Nkrumah, but he retrieves it after Amewo failed to make the most of it.
That's where you expect, those full-backs to get into attacking positions, especially, their right back, who's been one of the best attacking full-backs in the league. We're talking about Kamaradini Mahmoudou.
Good ball from Amu-Mensah. Bafo, he picks out Kelvin Nkrumah. The flag stays down. Opportunity for a cross. He swings one in and out. It's turned away by Kwame Paul. They are defending so well, knowing very much the kind of threat that Medeama brings in.
Yeah, it's a combination. There's a combination. Owusu together with Kamaradini at the right-hand side, but then Bafo also linking up with Kelvin, Nkrumah at the left-hand side, and they can be very, very explosive. And you would always need to double up on them, and that's what Hohoe United are doing after taking the lead.
Corner for Hohoe United. We've done 15 minutes at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. It's Hohoe United 1, Medeama 1, Medeama 0. They have a corner now, and it's Emmanuel Owusu to take. Owusu goes low. Prince Owusu with a drive, and Kweku Musa saves. He makes another brilliant save to deny Kamaradini Mahmoudou. Awesome goalkeeping from Kweku Musa to deny Medeama the equalizer, not on one occasion, but on two occasions in a split second.
Of course, and that was cat-like from Musa, between the stakes, and that's how your confidence grows as a goalkeeper. But Kamaradini's reaction tells you that it should have been 1-1. He just headed straight into the arms of Musa. He just had no problems dealing with that.
Here is Rich Saki for the Mauve and Yellow. Bafo trying to find Abdul Salam, but Kwame Paul defends well. Sena Ati, Prince Amewo to Solomon Adomako. Adomako gives the ball away. Prince Owusu, Adomako does well to redeem himself, but that's a very cynical challenge on him by Prince Owusu. Referee rightly whistles for a foul against Medeama, but Owusu equally comes off worse after that tackle.
Yeah, you could see that a bit more cynical there. Just look at the ball. Just comes up the foot of Adomako, and you can see how there was some hard impact there. Head-on collision between these two players, and Adomako could feel the impact even more, but just be hoping they'll both be fine, because any changes earlier on in this game could really affect, the setup for both coaches.
And interestingly, both players have had stints with the national teams. Recently, it was Prince Owusu who made his debut for the Black Stars of Ghana in the World Cup qualifier. That's the build-up to the goal. It was a good cross by the captain, and Odum arriving at the right time just to put the ball past goalkeeper Felix Che, and all he had to do was to run down to the bench to celebrate with them.
Exactly, but it was a delivery, sumptuous delivery by Osman Sofiano, and just look at that. All he had to do was to guide it with the inside of his boots, past Felix Che, who was just sliding across to the other side. So difficult for him to just get his hands on that one, but then Sofiano, turning the provider there for Francis Odum, and that's just what you need from your striker. Not too many chances, but then lethal and clinical from Francis Odum.
Odum, the man of the moment. First goal of the season for him. And he only came into this game because Kekeli Ato is not in the match day squad for today. What a way to impress your coaches after giving you this confidence.
Yes, Alia, for TJ Bashiru, that would look like a blessing in disguise. having one of your top players get injured and the next person who just, replaces him gets on the score sheet after 7 minutes. And I don't think he even hoped for that, but that's what he gets, especially when you try your luck in attack.
Kelvin Nkrumah, flag stays down. Here is Nkrumah. He swings in across and is straight and direct at Musa.
Compare his standards, I think that's below the standards of Kelvin Nkrumah, one of the most, offensive-minded and also attacking wingers in the league. I was just trying to locate Abdul Salam with a pinpoint cross into the box. But Musa will just deal with that.
Here is the goal scorer, Odum, to the captain, Safiano Usman. Daniel Osei. It is Odum, wants to use the space to advantage, try to get that cross in, but obviously that ball had crossed the line and it's a goal kick to Medeama.
They are targeting the fullbacks now. It's either Bafo or Kamaradini Mahmoudou, and they know that's where the weakness of this Medeama team can be, and this time Odum trying to turn provider there. That was an overhit ball. They just went across the line before he could just manage to cross that one into the box, but it's been promising from them every time they go through the wide areas.
"20 minutes at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. It's Hohoe United FC 1, Medeama Sporting Club 1, goal scored by Francis Odum. Medeama are playing without their captain, Mubarak Youssef, who is injured. His place is taken by Rizaki in central defense, who's partnering his former teammate at Accra Lions, Amu Mensah. Kelvin Nkrumah did well to prevent that one from crossing over the line for a throw into Hohoe United. It's a poor pass from Kamaradini Mahmoudou, but he's able to win it back for Medeama.
It seems apparent that Hohoe United have switched to the low block from the mid block round. They are defended very, very deep.
Emmanuel Owusu, Salim, Kamaradini, Desmond Bafo, Kelvin Opon, good play from Medeama. Here is Kelvin Nkrumah, Emmanuel Owusu, he turns around brilliantly. He's brought down. It's a good call. Free kick, Sena Ati just trying to weave his way and retrieve the ball, but he ended up bringing down.
They are advancing the ball so well, Medeama. Since going down, they've managed to, exploit the spaces, those half spaces being left by Hohoe United, and this time Owusu, with a very, very good turn, and he just manages to shield the ball away from his opponent. It really shows quality in this game, Medeama.
Free kick for Medeama Sporting Club, the league leaders. Salim Adams, I've got what it takes to deliver from this position. Prince Owusu, I've got that in his locker as well. Let's see what they make of this opportunity. Medeama, it's Salim Adams who shows the desire to go for this one. Free kick Medeama, 22 minutes in Hohoe.
He has that in his locker. Good hit, bullets.
Referee whistle, Salim steps up. He goes to Kamaradini, but the flag is up for offside. It must have been rehearsed from the training grounds. He got the ball all right to Kamaradini Mahmoudou, but the flag was up. And Medeama will have cause to complain, but the assistant referee is convinced it was offside.
Exactly, but that was the ball again. Yeah, just a fraction offside. Just look at the line, a bit flat, but that was a routine ball, straight from the training grounds. And Kamaradini Mahmoudou found himself in acres of space, but unfortunately, even if the flag had stayed down, he still shot that one wide.
Here is Nkrumah. He goes down from the challenge of Ebenezer Amega. Free kick Medeama. Hohoe United have won 2 games, they've drawn twice, and they've lost 3 times in the season's Premier League, including a defeat at this venue. Salim Adams. Kamara Dini, Mano Mante, Rich Saki, Mante, Prince Owusu. Too much on that one, and Musa Okuli collect that one for Hohoe United.
Yeah, and they are failing now to find Abdul Salam, who's been wandering up front for them because he's been caged by the centre-backs of Hohoe United, and that's what they would have to do now. Medeama are passing the ball very well. They are finding men in open spaces, but you need to advance that ball, quicker and a bit more with a bit more urgency if they would want to grab the equalizer in this game.
Here is Sanati, can't find his captain, Usman. Amumensa gives the ball away. Sanati tries an audacious one because he had seen Fixture out of his area, and he wants to do that because it was done to them at this venue by Mafu of Ediana, and they had no answers to his long range. He tried to replicate that, but he didn't get it right.
Yeah, I think that was a quick flashback, but he lacked accuracy to just beat, Fixture from that distance. The accuracy wasn't there. The technique was a bit awful by Ati. And if you want to beat Che, it should be better than that.
Salim Adams with a beautiful pass, looking for Prince Owusu. He gets to Owusu. Here is Owusu. He swings in across. It's clever defending from Hohoe United. Manuel Mante on the volley is not troubling Hohoe United.
They are pushing. They are asking questions now, Medeama. And it's been all Medeama in the last 10-15 minutes after conceding that goal. And that was a lovely piece of skill from Manuel Mante. And just look at that from a distance. Just to take that one over Safianu. Just hit that on the volley. But again, accuracy the problem here for them. But it's been positive in the last 6 minutes.
Here is Solomon Adomako. Picked up a red card in the opening game of the Premier League season against Hatsabok. Adomako. Emmanuel Owusu to Prince Owusu. Now Mante. Here is Saki. Bafu for Medeama. They are dominating play at this point. Salim gives the ball away. Odum. Safian Osman sends in a cross. Chance for Hohoe. And David Anane with a brilliant opportunity to have doubled the lead. And he shoots wide. Hohoe United 1, Medeama 0.
That's one of the most difficult balls for any defense to deal with. That's a sublime ball into 2 defenders, and that was a good, way to just that one. But then he could only hit that one over the crossbar. But then look at that again, in between 2 defenders. Lovely skill to bring that one down. But again, Fixture wouldn't be bothered, even though he looked troubled for a second.
He thought he was being exposed by the centre-backs because there were 2 centre-backs, only for them to allow the striker to go in between them and send that one away. Doesn't want to take chances, Che.
Yeah, it's getting more difficult for them because they are losing balls in dangerous areas, especially in midfield where it's always a fast break for Hohoe United.
Hohoe United have so far scored 8 goals in the Premier League, and they've conceded 8 goals as well. This goal scored by Odum is the 8th of the season by the newly promoted Premier League side.
It's not been bad in offense for them. It's not been that terrible. You compare their numbers, and it's staggering against the newly promoted side. It's been good for them under Tijani. And one of the qualities of the side is that they have multiple goal scorers this season, which is a mark, of a good team.
Kamara Dini Mahmoudou. Here is Mahmoudou. He comes up against Hohoe's John Alasode. Safiana Usman looking for Odum, the goal scorer. He's got Anani in the middle. but Amu Mensah with a clean challenge wins possession. Here is Owusu, Salim Adams, Emmanuel Owusu. It's a lovely touch to find Abdul Salam, but he gives it away. Owusu tracks back and gets it for Medeama.
And it's traction. It's becoming more difficult because the rains are pouring down, and it's making it difficult for these players to even find the right balance, the right traction. And you would have to be very, very extremely careful. If not, you could pick up an injury in such weather conditions.
Salim Adams, Prince Owusu. Dictating the pace of the game, and he finds Desmond Bafo. Now Salim Adams. It's a lovely ball looking for Mante, but clever defending from Adomako. Now Saki. Amu Mensah to Salim Adams. Bafo. Kelvin Nkrumah is up against Prince Amevo. With a step over, he's trying to weave his way. Emmanuel Owusu. Can he shoot from this distance? He shoots. And again, Kweku Musa is up to the task.
But TJ Bashiru is furious on the touchline. He's asking why they are not closing in the gaps. And just look at that, too much gap, even though you have about 7 red shirts in there. And that's some poor marking there by Hohoe United. Not covering the spaces and allowing that shot to go through, but good work by Owusu. And this is the second time he's hit a shot from a distance, but Musa has always been up to task.
Owusu has scored against Vision in the Premier League this season. He also scored against Nations FC, but unlucky, he didn't quite get that delivery spot on, and Musa wouldn't be bothered about that. It's 30 minutes at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. Hohoe United 1, Medeama 0. Kamara Dini Mahmudu, good play for Medeama. Here is Kamara Dini. He goes for glory, and it's awful. Awful delivery from Kamara Dini.
Terrible strike. Terrible by the attacking-minded fullback. And we've seen his quality over and over again. Such a threat whenever he bops forward, but this time, by his standards, that was just awful from him. But it's quite positive whenever they attack Medeama. They are sending more men forward, and that's why Hohoe United are resorting to the low block now and trying to hit them on the break.
Odum's header looking for Anane. Saki gets the ball away for the mauve and yellow. Prince Amevo is a good decision because he had earlier on ignored it, thinking it would have been advantage Hohoe, but the moment Medeama still took on the ball, he had to whistle. That's the earlier incident.
Yeah, I think it was the right call. Kelvin Nkrumah, the culprit there. But they've been quiet, Hohoe United, after scoring that goal. We've not really seen the best from them, especially in the attacking areas where they've made a couple of bad decisions.
Nkrumah gives the ball away. Senna Ati controls, but referee Jacob Aduntra whistles because the goal scorer seems to be suffering from a knock. Francis Odum.
Yeah, we've spoken about the weather conditions, Nana. It's just not the best, but they just need to be careful. It's been slippery, and both teams haven't found the right traction in this game. The grip hasn't been there. We've seen a couple of times 1 or 2 players overrunning the ball. But these coaches will be concerned about the safety of these players, especially looking at the fact that it's only 8 match days, and there's, some more to come later on.
Osei gets the ball in to Medeama's advantage. Medeama, top of the table with 16 points, 5 wins, 1 draw, and only 1 defeat against Karela. But you know what? Medeama have played their last 4 games at home, and so they've been able to make the most of it by taking 10 out of those 12 available points at home. And now they began the journey on the road.
Yes, Aliad, they only dropped points in that Western Derby. It was a fierce one against Samatex, but yeah,
Prince Owusu shoots from the distance. No problem for Kweku Musa.
Yeah, and that's what they are trying now. And you can see Brian Tanko edging them on because they are not able to break those spaces. It's becoming difficult and tighter. Just look at that, about 5 players trying to defend that one. But then that was another good hit from about 10-5 yards out. And that's what they are trying now. The last 3 shots they've had have all been outside the 18-yard box.
Medeama last weekend beat All Blacks 1-0 in Takwa. Goal scored by Kamara Dini Mamodu. The previous week, they drew against Samatex in the Western Derby. Then they won games against Dreams and the Nations FC. All home games. The first time they are traveling away from home in the last 1 month.
Yeah, they've been poor travelers, dating back to last season. They've won just 1 in their last 11 away Premier League games, and it tells you how bad they've been on the road. But they could pick some inspiration from the fact that they went to Winchi and they beat Young Apostles by 2-0 earlier on the season. It wasn't bad for them at all.
Abdul Salam brought down, free kick, and the Hohoe faithful are not happy with the decision by Aduntara.
Yeah, obviously they wouldn't be happy with this, but it was the right call from the referee after Abdul Salam dropped a bit deeper. And we're talking about the disconnect as well. The balls are not finding him. We've seen a couple of long shots, but none to find him for him to feed off it. He's been just a mere spectator so far in this game.
Medeama have 12 goals so far in the league, and they've conceded 5. That goal scored by Odum was the 5th they've conceded this season, and they equally have different scorers coming from different games. There are Abdul Salam already on the score sheet. Emmanuel Owusu has got 2 goals already. Then Salim Adams have a goal. Kingsley Braye is also on the score sheet for Ibrahim Tanko's side in 7 Premier League games so far.
And it's about the balance for me. 12 goals scored.
Oh, lovely skill from Kelvin Nkrumah, but he's stopped by Kwame Paul.
Yeah, good skill, but
chance for Hohoe United, and he had to take it on the volley. Didn't hesitate. He thought that was the moment to go for the drive. David Anane just went past Rick Saki, got the first bounce and took it on the volley, but that was way off target.
Yeah, and they are paying the price for committing men forward. They're paying the price for the high line now, and Hohoe United are trying to exploit that by hitting long balls, over the defense of Medeama, and it's working for them. We saw the first goal, ball into space, no one there to cover, and this time round it was a good volley, trying to cut Felix Che off his line, but accuracy, the problem there. Then good ball. It was such, a good hit.
Free kick advantage, Hohoe United, as the goal scorer Odum is brought down by Prince Owusu.
And it's getting to the part where it's a bit more physical there. And just look at that, Owusu. He could be arguing that's a body check, but the referee believed that was a bit more robust from the Medeama player. This chap has really been good for Hohoe United this afternoon.
Free kick taken right in the Medeama box, away by Jacob Mensah. Referee spots an infringement as the flag goes up for Medeama's advantage.
Yeah, a bit more crowded, but Hohoe United should be showing a bit more quality. We saw that first goal from nothing, just one long ball and a good touch to just guide it past Felix Che. But since then, we've not seen that quality exhibited, in the last 30 minutes from them. Medeama, they've been great. They've found your grip sometimes, but they've just not been able to find Abdul Salam, who's been missing from the game so far.
Kelvin Nkrumah is a good through ball to Abdul Salam. Was looking for the space to drive. Now Bafo. Nkrumah swings in across. Referee just obstructing the play of Hohoe United. They were just on the offensive, only for Jacob Aduntra to stop their move.
Yeah, Tijani Bashiru, with that cheeky smile there, but he knew that, it would have been dangerous. He knew that could have been a goal-scoring opportunity, because Medeama were yet to organize themselves in defense, but, it does happen in football sometimes. And that's what they've been doing since getting the goal, just trying to use the fast breaks.
Osman. Here is Odum. Alosode's drive, and Felix Che knew exactly where the ball was falling. He dived to it, had no contact, because already the ball was going outside. It's a good drive from the left back, Alosode.
Yeah, and it's the nature of the pitch. It's allowing these players to hit the balls from a long distance, because they know one bounce could really change the trajectory of the ball. We've seen it from Medeama, and this time we have seen it from Hohoe as well. You don't need to move into the 18-yard box to attempt something, and it was promising from Hohoe United.
Medeama have made their intentions very clear. They want to win the Premier League and go back to the African Champions League. They've been there before, and I'm sure they enjoy that experience and want to go and do much better this time around. But hey, it's going to be a tall order with stiff competition in the season's Premier League.
Yeah, Zali, they have the objectives. They've won the league before. They know how it feels like to be crowned champions. But for teams like Hohoe United, it's all about survival. And sometimes they could be party poopers.
Chance for Medeama, but Musa. Good calculations and anticipation from Kweku Musa. Odum fouled by Salim Adams right before the referee. He was initially being tackled by Kamara Dini. He didn't handle him well, and Salim Adams just popped up to commit that foul. 40 minutes at the Hohoe Stadium. Hohoe United FC 1, Medeama Sporting Club 0. Mensah's clearance. Prince Owusu further gets it away. Prince Amerbo returns it for Hohoe. That should be a foul. Certainly a free kick against Kelvin Ampof. Kelvin Nkrumah. Yellow card to Kelvin Nkrumah. For that clumsy challenge on Ebenezer Amega. Yellow card to Kelvin Nkrumah. Confirmation of Nkrumah's yellow card. One of those creative sparks on the field. Amebo's free kick away by Mensah. Returned by Paul. And Salim Adams gets it away for Medeama. Now the throw-in. The last touch from Alosode. Here is Emmanuel Owusu. Kelvin Nkrumah sends the cross in, and Medeama close to the equalizer. Emmanuel Owusu now Bafo. He wants to turn and shoot, looking for the space. Bafo, effort is blocked, and Osman will get it away for Hohoe. There's pressure on the home side as Medeama chase the equalizer before the break. Here is Salim Adams. So Saki. Kamara Dini. Prince Owusu, Salim Adams, Kelvin Nkrumah. Now Amu Mensah. Kamara Dini just couldn't turn. Here comes Prince Owusu for the mauve and yellow. He swings in across, and Medeama finds the equalizer. Abdul Salam grabs the equalizer for Medeama Sporting Club. 3 minutes before the break. The hard work, the pressure has eventually paid off. Delicate cross from Prince Owusu and a sublime header from Abdul Salam. It's 42 minutes. Medeama are back in business. It's Hohoe United 1, Medeama Sporting Club 1. That's a beautiful goal from Medeama Sporting Club. the moment Prince Owusu checked on his left foot, it was obvious he was going to send in a cross, and Abdul Salam in between the goalkeeper and Sena Ati, he just hanged on and glanced that one past the goalkeeper. It is Hohoe United 1, Medeama 1, Abdul Salam on the score sheet for Medeama. He scored in Medeama's 2-1 victory over Dreams FC. The pressure finally pays off. Medeama back in the game. We're just a minute away from half-time as we await the confirmation of the additional minutes. It's Hohoe United 1, Medeama Sporting Club 1, Prince Amevo. Amega loses possession. Emmanuel Owusu for Medeama. Kelvin Nkrumah shows too much of the ball to his opponent. Salim Adams, not too sure what he intended to do with this one. The idea was to get to Owusu, but the precision behind the delivery, not spot on. 45 minutes in Hohoe, 2 minutes of additional time. Hohoe United 1, Medeama Sporting Club 1. Sena Ati trying to look for Safian Usman. It's a lovely ball from Usman to Sena, but he just can't get to it as Saki gets it away. Amega with the drive, but it flies over the bar for a goal kick. Poor effort from Ebenezer Amega. You're thinking that he has so much space and could have done better from that distance. Sake, Kamara Deni, Emmanuel Owusu, he's aiming at Kelvin Nkrumah. Lovely control from Nkrumah. He's up against Amebo. Here is Nkrumah. Bafu's cross. Adumaku heads it away for Hohoe. Now Prince Owusu, he shoots, and Musa is not troubled. Couldn't quite make a first-time save, but at least nothing positive out there for Medeama. Owusu with a left-footed effort, bouncing off the goalkeeper. Ati beaten to it by Manuel Mante. Amebo to take the throw in. He finds Amega. That's the whistle to wrap up the first half here at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. Hohoe United took the lead through Francis Odum just around the 7-minute mark of the game, and Medeama Sporting Club took over possession, dictated the pace of the game, piled pressure on Hohoe United, and eventually got the equalizer through Abdul Salam. Medeama obviously have been the dominant of the two sides. Half-time at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. Hohoe United 1, Medeama Sporting Club 1.
The Upper East has the potential to produce a lot more super talents and perhaps a lot more of Abedi Ayew Peles if and only if we support our youth with first-class footballing infrastructure.
This technical center which we have built, I'll be glad and propose that we should
1 against Medeama Sporting Club. It's now time for recess, and we'll be back with more from my pundits right after this break. The 45 minutes, it's 1-1 here at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. I'm still at pitch side with our friend Nelson, former head coach of Hohoe United, and then also Francis Aboibo Blagge. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Thank you.
Let me start off with you, Alfred. Have you been pleased with Hohoe United? You know, after getting the goal, you think they just put up the right attitude to defend that?
I think they are doing well. It's just that Medeama is creating lots of overload in midfield, so it's like they always have a numerical advantage over Hohoe United. I mentioned before the start of the game that those are the things that they will be doing. They will be creating overloads. When they are able to deal with that and the isolation of one player, when they are building up from the right and when they are building up from the left too, it happens on their right side. So if they are able to deal with those things, they will be good. So when Medeama was dictating the pace, they were circulating the balls around, I always saw it coming because of the overload. So I think Hohoe United didn't do bad. They just have to come in strongly like they did in the first half so that they make sure they get an early goal, then they can meet them boot for boot.
Francis, Medeama came into this game at the top of the table. They still have it in mind that they would want to remain there perhaps after match day 8. Hey, look at that quality in attack, and you'll be thinking, yeah, this is what they need to do to win this game.
See, Jose, make no mistake, Medeama mean business, yeah. And they are playing like they are really on top of the Ghana Premier League. If you look at how, after conceding the first goal, if you look at how they reacted brilliantly. They circulated the ball, they moved the ball quicker into spaces. And you look at the overloads on both flanks. It's working for them. You look at Kamaruddin Mahmoud and Bafo. They played a pivotal role in what Medeama did in that first half. For Hohoe United, they are not reacting quickest to the second ball. So in terms of the reaction, Medeama are picking the loose balls in central midfield, and they pick a clue from trying the goalkeeper. It's by no means flick that the goalkeeper, Musa Kweku, happens for Hohoe United happens to be the busiest among the two goalkeepers. He pulled off about four magnificent saves to calm down the scoreline the way it is. But if you look at what Hohoe United are doing, they are trying to play through Usman Safian and Francis Odum. Medeama pick a clue from that. They shut down the door. Now they are playing the faces. For Hohoe United, they are supposed to find different outlets. And until they find that, they'll be found wanting here. If you look at the way Medeama are playing through Salim, Calvin and Nkrumah, it's like they are the main anchor of the team. They are the main outlet. And everything they do in that first half went through them. For them to clip them, they are supposed to put men on top of them and make sure that they are not having a bigger chunk of possession in terms of the face-to-face 1v1 passage of play in the game. Because if you allow them to play, we all know the qualities that Salim Adam has. And if you give him those ample chances, he'll be able to finish off the chances at premium. And you look on top here, look, they are trying to play into the zone. Look at the reaction. They are always aware.
Talk to me about this, that ball from Safian, and just look at that, guided home beautifully by Francis Odum. Yeah,
the retention in central midfield, and you look at the passage of play from Senati into the feet of the captain, Safian Usman. He always anticipated that the striker will be lurking at the other side, and Medeama never reacted. You look at the centre back of Risaki and Mensah. They didn't look over their shoulder. So exactly what hit them, they don't know. And here, one thing that they should blame themselves for, they didn't communicate well as well. If they had communicated well, they would have known that there was a spare man behind them.
Interesting. All right, but Alfred, let me bring you in. We saw right after that goal, it was Medeama knocking, at the doors of Hohoe United, a couple of long balls. But how greatly has the weather, especially the rains, the downpour, affected? Because we've seen some slippery moments and then also some balls from long distance.
I think this is good for football. It makes the ball circulation very easy. The ball moves faster on the AstroTurf, which I think is very good. I don't think it's causing much of a problem. The weather is good for association football, and the pitch too is the ball is moving very fast on it. So I think it's very good. Safianu's pass to Odum, I always saw it coming. When they passed the ball to the channel, sitting there, I was telling someone, no, this is going to be a goal.
That was another big chance for Kamaruddin, but then the flag had gone up.
It was a well taken set piece.
Straight from the training ground.
Hohoe United didn't expect it. They thought Salim Adams was going to shoot the ball. So I think that was smart on their part.
Interesting. But Francis, let me bring you in again. We speak about the quality of this Medeama team, especially their fullbacks, Bafo and left back, and then also Kamaruddin Mahmoud. What do they need to do? Because we've spoken about the overload, but it looks like Hohoe United are doing absolutely nothing to stop it.
Well, that's why the coaches have the halftime pep talk to do. They've watched the game. They are supposed to correct this, because if you don't correct it, it's like you are playing into the hands of the opponent. And it's only a matter of time that they will punish you again. See, had it not been the brilliance of the Hohoe United goalkeeper, Musa, they would have considered the second goal. He pulled off some decent saves. And look, on that particular occasion again, he bailed them out. So they are enjoying. That's one thing I was speaking about. You have to close them in central midfield, because on top of the penalty box, they have quality players with good technique that can hit the ball from range, and they'll get it on target. They've gotten that on about 3 or 4 occasions. And Hohoe United are always trying to play on the counter attack. If it is not working, then you have to calm down the game, spread the ball, carve them open through multiple channels. They have the quality players. Safian can do it. You understand? So on Senati, he has not shown us what he's made of in the first half. The coaches are supposed to tell him to calm down and play his normal game. If not, that it will be Medeama in the second half. And Hohoe United cannot just afford to lose a game.
Nelson, you're a coach. Heading into halftime, it's a very tricky game. You are coming up against the league leaders. What's the pep talk going to be like? What are you focusing on? Defending or attacking or throwing more men forward?
I think Safian Osman needs to drop into the midfield so that the overload that Medeama creates there, they also have the numbers there. He's always either forward, central, or he's on the side. So he needs to drop, then he joins the midfield so that they will be able to match the overload. They need to watch out for the half spaces, because that's where Medeama is dominating. They are getting the balls behind them, and they have to watch out for that.
All right, so the players are readying up. Second half action is just upon us, but then commercial break is next.
United returning from recess with renewed confidence and energy, having ended the first half 1-1.
Yeah. There was that loss of concentration that brought about the equalizer for Medeama, and I believe Coach Bashir Tijani would just be screaming at these players for allowing that to happen. Normally, you would want to hold on to the lead heading into recess, but unfortunately, they failed to do that. But it's all about trying to reclaim the lead again. It's been difficult. Medeama are showing so much quality, but for Hohoe United, whenever they play here, they know that they're under pressure to deliver. We've seen some brilliant moments as well, but for Medeama, the motivation will be to go back to the top of the table, or even maintain that position heading into tomorrow's games.
Usman to Senna Ate. He sees Prince Amevo on the right. Amevo sends in an early cross. Hohoe United wants to get things done early. Here is Odum with a cross. It's a very poor cross from Odum.
Terrible from Odum. Terrible ball from Odum. To no one in particular, there were numbers, there were bodies, Hohoe United bodies in the box. He could have just spotted anyone at all, but then he just hit that one casually to a Medeama player.
This is the very first meeting between these two clubs, Medeama and Hohoe United, and it's very obvious that the quality of Medeama very much ahead of that of Hohoe United.
Yeah, it's been clear. It's been clear right after they took the lead. It's been Medeama.
And that's Prince Owusu on the move for Medeama. Lovely play from Owusu. He sets up Kamaradini, can he score? Somewhere, somehow, he's flopped the golden opportunity to put Medeama in the lead. Kamaradini Mahmoudou.
That's a big chance, big chance. That transition so quick, you know, in a matter of seconds, they were able to turn defense into attack. And Kamaradini Mahmoudou, we speak about the fact that he's a dangerous attacking fullback, and we saw there in that, you know, attacking position. All he had to do was to dink that one over the goalkeeper, but, you know, he was cutting too well, so not knowing not to do it. You know, Hohoe United had to clear the lines.
Manuel Mante. Mante is replacing Fuzi Taylor, who has been injured in the last couple of games, but he's put in a good shift. Here is Hohoe United on the move, looking for a second. That's some clever defending from Jacob Amumensa. Coming back was Salim Adams to take charge of that situation.
That has been the ordeal of both teams. They're losing balls in dangerous areas. At this time, it could have been more dangerous for Medeama. You look at that position, you know, in a position where you are attacking, you just don't lose the ball, and that's why Ibrahim Tanko isn't really happy with that play.
Corner to Hohoe United. Senna Ati to take it. He's a set-piece specialist, Senna Ati. He scored from the free kick already this season. Swings in across. Here is Prince Owusu. He was on that dazzling run that resulted in that final ball to Kamaradini Mahmoudou, failing to make the most of that glorious opportunity. Good dummy. Here is Manuel Mante for Medeama. Switches to the right and finds Prince Owusu. It's a poor ball from Prince Owusu, usually better than this. Was trying to thread one through for Manuel Mante.
And that's where you turn a half chance, you know, into a glorious chance, and they failed to do that with one poor pass.
And on the other end, Safiano Usman is unable to just sort of spit out to get the ball into the needed area for Hohoe United.
Yeah, for Hohoe United, chances haven't really come their way, you know, since scoring that goal from Francis Odin. We've not seen them really create, you know, clear-cut chances, and these are the balls you really need to be careful with. You just need to find those accurate passes into the channels, into the third half, and make something promising out of it.
And Kroma hands possession to Hohoe United. Here is the right back, Amebo. Now Senna Ati. Amebo with a cross. Kamaradini gets it away. And Prince Owusu finds Emmanuel Owusu. Good 1-2 between Owusu and Owusu. Abdul Salam heckled and lost the ball through the challenge of Adomako.
Attacking mindset for both teams. It's more open than ever in this game, and tell you what, the team that gets the next goal could be very, very crucial. Now we're seeing both teams trying to attack, you know, and that they're leaving spaces in behind for the other team to exploit, and it's even getting more dangerous, but then quite entertaining.
Abdul Salam shows desire, but Alosode hands possession to Prince Owusu. Mante. Here is Kamaradini. Now Prince Owusu. Lovely skill. Wants the space to shoot, and it's straight to Kwekumusa. In the meantime, Medeama have a player down. Looks like it is Abdul Salam, the goal scorer.
Yeah, there was a collision there. There was a collision at Abdul Salam, but you know, that was that ball to Prince. Had to check onto his left foot. And the biggest problem for Hohoe United today has been the rate at which and the frequency at which they close down the opponent before a shot is taken. And Prince had acres of space. He had seconds to think, but just couldn't dive that to the far post. But this could be a very, very worrying situation for Ibrahim Tanko if Abdul Salam is not able to continue anymore. It looks like a heavy collision there.
Tanko will be scratching his head looking for answers. He's got Nana Kofi Babio. He's also got Kingsley Braye, Henry Nyako. All of them could slot in and play. in that role for Medeama in the event that Abdul Salam is unable to return to the pitch.
Over the years, they've proven to be a team with so many versatile players. Seen Manuel Mante sometimes play as a centre-back, sometimes as a DM or an attacking midfielder. So they have quality. They have players with such quality and versatility as well.
Good news. Abdul Salam is back on the pitch. Medeama, after all, will not be losing their goal scorer through injury.
And they've played with there's so much focus today, Medeama, and coming into the game week knowing that they are top of the table and they would want to hold on to that has really given them some extra motivation.
Abdul Salam is a good block by Adomako. Here is Kelvin Nkrumah. He swings in across, but just too much on it. He went too high. Nobody could do anything about it, including Abdul Salam and the rest of the charges.
Question marks around the defendant for Hohoe. It's not really been up there, but Kelvin Nkrumah again trying to try his luck from that distance, with an in swing and curler there, but not good enough, not accurate enough, not being hit enough, but it's just quality all over.
That's a poor challenge from Salim Adams on Anane.
The struggles for Hohoe United quite evident now. With the second half, we've seen Medeama dominate the midfield area. Something we saw at least Hohoe United do in between at the intervals sometimes, but in the second half, they just relinquished that to Medeama.
Here is Abdul Salam as Hohoe United loses possession. It is Abdul Salam. He still hangs on to possession. Abdul Salam brings it back to Prince Owusu. Looks for space. And Emmanuel Owusu's effort is just not powerful enough. It lacked conviction.
I would agree with you on that. It just lacked everything to beat Musa, who is in between the sticks for them. But that was good work by Abdul Salam. Does it all on his own. Then that cut back to Prince Emmanuel Owusu. And for Medeama, they are coming close. They are creating chances. But I think with what we've seen today, it would take quite a lot more if they would want to find the back of the net again.
Here is Emmanuel Owusu. He's stopped by Usman. Here is Hohoe United's Francis Odum. Now Senna Ati on the left-hand side. That's a foul. That's a foul. And Manuel Mante will be lucky not to get a yellow card from Jacob Aduntra, but it's a cynical challenge on Senna Ati.
Yeah, very, very cynical, malicious challenge on Senna Ati. And Senna Ati, some pain there, but it looks okay. And he's surprised that, the referee doesn't show his card. He's a bit surprised, and Manuel Mante just knew what he did over there. He had to stop him in his tracks.
He loves to operate on the left-hand side of Medeama's defense, where he's realized that Bafo loves to search forward. Kelvin Nkrumah is almost always in the other side, and so that leaves some spaces behind him. That is where he could be dangerous, Senna Ati.
I think those are strict instructions from the head coach, especially the other team with attacking fullbacks. We've seen Salim Adams not even move closer to the 18-yard box today because he's also been assigned that duty whenever Kamaldini Mahmoud bumps forward, and it's very, very crucial. You just need an extra man in there sometimes to help with the defensive duties, and that's what they are doing now, Medeama, to try and cover up those spaces left by their fullbacks.
Mensah won't take chances. He saw the advance and Captain Usman, and Adomako wants to play the safety first precaution. Under pressure, he decides to get the ball away.
He's an experienced player. He just knew that the pitch is a bit slippery, conditions aren't good enough to take an extra touch, and that's just what you expect from an intelligent defender like Adomako.
Kamara Dini, Abdul Salam, Kamara Dini, Manuel Mante. Kamara Dini went to the near post, and it was a very, very good interception coming from Daniel Osei to prevent that ball from causing any problems.
And that's why it's never a risk to put them forward. And just look at that, the 1-2, the return ball, from Manuel Mante. And he was just trying to hit that one into the 6-yard box, hoping that anyone at all would just, get a touch on that one.
Medeama have a corner. Kweku Musa has been awesome for Hohoe this afternoon. He joined them from Narnia after Hohoe had scouted him during the Division 1 league, where they eventually emerged champions, and he's come to this place. Emisa, the first choice in the Division 1. Now also headed away by Usman. Emmanuel Owusu. Good play from Owusu. He finds his namesake, Prince Owusu. This is a foul. It might just come with a yellow card if Aduntra decides to be firm and strict.
I think that should have been a yellow card. Aduntra has been too lenient, but again, the swiftness of the Medeama attackers causing all sort of problems for the Hohoe defense. It's critical when the goal scorer ends up in a defensive position, helping with defense.
Emmanuel also to take the free kick for Medeama. He swings one in, and Musa again rescues Hohoe United. Anane beaten to it by Mante. He does want to retrieve possession again, and eventually wins the throw from the last kick of Kamaruddini.
You're suffocating them now without the ball, Medeama. And you could feel the urgency to win the ball whenever they lose it. And that has been the problem for Hohoe United to break free from the press.
Chance for Hohoe United. Safiano Usman, and the captain should be doing better.
I just don't know what he was trying to do over there. It was a nutmeg or trying to dink that one into the path of his unrushing teammate, but that's just not going to be an assist. And just because of that, he had options over there. Ati making the run into the box, but well covered as well from Bafu.
Prince Amevo to take the corner. Referee is whistled for Prince Amevo to hold on before taking the free kick, the corner kick.
Some heckling there. Referee Adintra believes he needs to share a word with them. And
Prince Amevo's corner. Salim Adams, the tallest, arrives to head the ball away. Even before that, referee has spotted infringement, and Medeama, who have the advantage and a breather at the same time.
you talk about the strength and the quality of this Hohoe United team, and corners has never been one of them so far in this game. They've just flapped every single chance they've had from a corner kick. That's just another one. Too many boxers or players in the box, but I think it's just a good call from Abdul Terab. Some infringements there as well.
Substitution. Francis Odum goes off for Daniel Osafo. Prince Amevo goes off for Abdul Kasim Aruna. And then Abbas Ganiu will also step in for the home side. So Abbas takes the place of Anani. Like for like, Abbas is the top striker of this team, and I'm told that because his work rate is so up high and there's so much intensity in the games that he's played, they decided to play safe by resting him because there are more games ahead.
And maybe that's why it pays off for them. It was a tactical decision, purely down to tactics. And also trying to rest some of your best for later, and that's what they did.
So Amevo taking the place of Haruna. And the fans are not happy with the substitution of Prince Amevo as Al-Qasim Mohamed Haruna comes in for the enterprising right back. I think he's been impressive, but the coach might have other reasons for taking him off.
Yes, Ali, looking at the fact that they are still chasing the win in this game, it could be tactical. It could be tactical reasons for this one.
Salim Adams, he wants to shoot and it's gone terribly wrong as a goal kick.
Perhaps he would feel relieved. He's not had his share, of shots being hit from the long distance. We've seen Owusu come close, Mante, but never from Adams due to his positioning today. He has to cover up for the attacking Kamaradini Mahmoudou, and for the first time he tries to hit one, but it's just not good enough to beat Musa.
Saki gives away possession. Alosode Usman. Here is Osafo, wants to bring in that energy from the bench. Sake. Abdul Salam is beaten to it by Adomakon. And here is Osafo to Ganiu. That is a tackle that Hohoe might just feel Aduntra should be calling for a foul, but he was very closer.
Very close, within close proximity. He saw that, he saw everything, and he believes there wasn't, enough in it. Perhaps the benefit of the replay don't really tell the full story, but I think perhaps I would agree with Aduntra. There wasn't much in it from that.
The reaction and the uproar from the fans might just have had the feeling of a penalty coming right after that tackle, but referee sees it as a perfect challenge from the central defender.
You know what? Every home ground in the league, you'd have the fans shout for a penalty kick, and it's just not unique to Hohoe United fans, shouting for it. But that's why you have brave referees officiate, in games like this, and that was a brave decision by Aduntra.
Usman. Hohoe United decided to do business by trading their top striker Farouk Mohamed from last season's Division 1 league, shipped him out to Nations FC, did some reinforcement, hoping that it might just keep them in the Premier League, at least for their very first season, sending a deep cross, and Felix Che grabs it firmly for Medeama.
Hey, look at, business done by newly promoted sides, and I think they did enough. Amega has Premier League experience. You talk about Adomako also with Premier League experience. A couple more in the setup with Premier League experience. But sometimes you just need more quality because you're coming up against sides that are hoping to win the league and represent the country in Africa, and that comes with so much ambition. But look to be a trouble there.
Yellow card flashed to Felix Che. He's questioning the decision by the center referee Aduntra.
Are you wondering
not too sure about
he's complaining?
Why he got the yellow card, but at least with the yellow card flashed, he should be calming down. He should be demonstrating leadership. Yeah. He's the captain of the side, and he should be leading by example.
Yeah, and I think that's where he has every right to complain, but perhaps he just went overboard. With his donation there, I think that's why Aduntra wouldn't just accept that, and he goes into the books. And you're asking the next offense, and who complains for Medeama?
He might just want to be cautious and not get into the books again. Mante with a good ball to find Salim, and there was a late challenge by Abbas Ganiu. Wasn't a deliberate one, he just went into that tackle very late. He's gone on to apologize, Ganiu.
It was a bit late, but he was expecting his teammate to go closer. Just look at that. Osafo was there, but he just chose to allow Ganiu to sprint all the way from the other side to try and win that ball. And I think if there's anyone to blame, it's definitely Osafo. He should have been, smarter and more reactive to that.
Prince Owusu Kamara Dini Mamadou is complaining that he was fouled. But Hohoe has gone on to take that throw in as Aduntra holds play.
Yeah, and he's asking for a foul as well, but just look at that. Yeah, I think he had it right, but the proximity of the referee as well, yeah, he stepped on his toes. You talk about Hohoe United playing at home and Medeama also being involved, and these are teams that love to run, and you'd always want to be close to every action, and that's what Aduntra has done, you know, from the inception of this game. It's very difficult when you have both teams running, covering so much, you know, distance in a game like this. We've seen Medeama have, you know, the attackers run, the fullbacks also joining the attack each and every time. I think that's the right call there on a tee. He was in no man's land at that point. Good call.
Salim, Mano Mante. There was a late tackle on Mano Mante, but the flag, well, he gets the decision right.
Yeah, of course, but Abdul Salam trying to hit that one, you know, right away. I think it's been a good call, boy. It's been very, very scruffy in the middle of the pitch.
Also to Kamara Dini. Chance for Medeama. That cross has gone far off, and here comes Kelvin Nkrumah. Swings in across. Kamara Dini's header and it's straight to Musa.
And that's why they allow him space to bump forward. That's why Medeama do not care where he finds himself, despite the fact that he's playing as a right back. That's the second time he's had a shot on target, and the second time with his head. But what about that for a pass? You know, just spread play. And that was expansive from him. He comes back again to get the header. And he's almost always been in every attacking action by Medeama this evening.
Here is Prince Owusu. He gives away possession now. Alosode. Sena Ati. Skips past Kamara Dini. And the centre back will come in strong with Saki. But the decision will go against Medeama. Throw into Hohoe United.
And that's what they need to be doing now, and attack the fullbacks. They are bumping forward, they are leaving spaces behind. You just need to create those 1v1 situations. Just put more men on them, and you know, you could create something.
Throw into Hohoe. Taken by Alosode. He goes long. Salim arrives and gets the ball, but it's Kamara Dini who heads it away. And Mano Mante has got so much space. He hits it only as far as Adumako. There was a late challenge on Mano Mante. Aduntra gets it right again.
Good call there. It was left late on Mano Mante after he hit that ball, and I think it was a tee again. And these two are enjoying their time on the pitch. So one well after the other. Just look at that from a tee. He slipped, but you know, make contact. And I think I would agree with Aduntra on that call. It was just the right call.
Minutes at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. It's Hohoe United 1, Medeama 1. That result will keep Medeama on top of the league log as we await the results of tomorrow's games across the other league centres. Abdul Salam, Prince Owusu, Emmanuel Owusu. It's a good tackle from Osei. Kelvin Nkrumah is bundled over by Hohoe United's newly introduced right back Haruna. Owusu. Saki. Salam. Usman loses out. Here comes Mano Mante. Kamara Dini. Prince Owusu, Mante. Kamara Dini, Mante. lovely passing play from Medeama Sporting Club. In the meantime, Medeama have a player who needs to be attended to. I see Aduntra reaching his pocket. He might just be flashing his yellow card to someone.
Yeah, and I think for that earlier incident there,
it is Osafo who is yellow carded for an earlier foul committed. So, Hohoe United's Daniel Osafo gets it into the book of Jacob Aduntera.
And that's great refereeing, solid refereeing there, but just look at what they're doing, running rings around them, and you don't allow Medeama to move into fifth gear, and that's what they do, creates overload, those intricate passes, shot, but then amazing runs as well, and you know, they make the pitch so huge for you even when you're playing at home, and that's what they're doing to Hohoe United.
Nkrumah has got no explanations to give. He wasn't the one that flashed the yellow card, but he was the victim from that challenge from Osafo.
You have to remind him that this is what you did, and that's why you've been carded, because Osafo was asking why the yellow carded, and Nkrumah had to...
Maybe the wrong person to ask.
Perhaps, but you know, it's just nice to see these players just share a smile, share a laugh.
Tijani Bashiru is hoping to take this team to a different level. He only came in after their qualification to the Premier League. Here is Owusu with a killer! And again, Kweku Musa had to get something on it to deny Medeama the second goal.
Great hit from Owusu from a distance. Just look at that, 4 players around him, but then he manages to squeeze that one. He worked the angle perfectly, trying to find the left top corner. And that was a good save by Musa.
Musa is justifying the reason why Emisa remains on the bench. Emmanuel Owusu goes low. Prince Owusu with the ball in, and the ball just eludes every yellow jersey and goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a bit crowded there, but Hohoe United will be fortunate that didn't just deflect into their own net.
Medeama's Emmanuel Owusu is down. He's been very important to Ibrahim Tanko's side as they lead the league table at this point. He, together with his namesake Prince Owusu, have been brilliant for them. Same can be said for Rich Saki, who has brought some stability into that back line since coming from Medeama. So you talk about the competition for places in that position, because the captain of the side, Mubarak Yusuf, is injured and yet to return to action.
Yeah, and these boys have stepped up. They've taken over the mantle, and they're doing great, especially after the sale of Nudin Abdullahi. You just have to come in Ritsaki, and he's done marvelously well, tremendously well for this Medeama side. And they have title-winning ambition, so you wouldn't for them bringing so much quality. Spoke about Emmanuel Owusu, Prince Owusu, and these are quality players as well in the ranks.
And they are also waiting for the return of Captain Fatal, who is also injured. Asafo's header. Here is Emmanuel Owusu. Prince Owusu slows down the tempo and allows Owusu to pick it up from the right side. Salim Adams is a lovely ball trying to find Desmond Bafo, but the pace on it just too much for the left back to get onto it.
He was late to react to that.
Emmanuel Owusu and Abdul Salam will make way for Henry Nyako and Kingsley Braye. Emmanuel Owusu makes way for Nyako. Also has been very, very good for them this afternoon. Kingsley Braye scored the only goal that rescued them a point when they were on the verge of defeat in that game against Samatex. They might be counting on him to probably get him the winning goal in this game.
Yeah, at this point, it's still open. It could be anyone's game, and that's why coaches are also cautious with the kind of substitutions they do.
Free kick for Hohoe. Kwame Paul. Kamaradini heads it. Referee spots a push by Ati on Kamaradini.
Yeah, he had his hands wrapped around Kamaradini and trying to go in for that ball. But that's how unproductive, the afternoon has been after scoring the goal or getting the first goal in the first 7 minutes. And the rest of the 70, we've not really seen so much from them in the attacking third.
Kamaradini to take the throw for Medeama. Hohoe United getting ready for a substitution. Ebenezer Amegan makes way for Hamidou Abdullahi. Adomako is an awkward clearance from the centre back.
He should have just allowed that to roll over. That initial cross from Kamaradini catching his own teammate, and you're thinking Adomako all he had to do was to guide that one out.
It's fair to say Musa has kept Hohoe United in this game up until the 79 minutes approach, and he's been very, very instrumental in not conceding more than that one goal this afternoon. Owusu switches to Bafo. Now Kelvin and Nkrumah. Salim Adams. Lovely ball to pick out Kamaradini, but he can't get through to Prince Owusu. No foul for Salim. It's a fair challenge from Usman. But this time, Kingsley Braye commits the foul that hands Hohoe United a free kick on Abdullahi.
Yeah, but it's still Salim Adams on the turf again. That was a good first touch. We're just trying to advance a bit before unleashing that strike. Not much in it to give a foul to Medeama, and that's why the referee had to overlook it. But he's been an engine in midfield for them. Playing in that role. Fuzi has been playing for them, and the coach spoke about the fact that they're really counting on him, to give them that quality they want, that presence of Fuzi, and he's really done his job. We've not really seen him in those attacking positions to unleash those strikes, but nonetheless, I think he's been decent in this particular game.
Prince Owusu gives the ball away. Here is Ganiu. Up against Saki. Now Ati. Ganiu. Clever play from Salim Adams. Calmness to retrieve that ball. And he put 1-2 for Nkrumah. He skips past his marker. And this certainly will be a yellow card. No questions about this. Yellow card flashed to one of the newly introduced players, Abdul Kasim Mohamed Aruna.
Yeah, that's why you take one for the team. 10 minutes to go, and you wouldn't allow that to skip past you. You wouldn't allow one of the most explosive wingers in the league to just go past you. And he just had to do it, and even the coach will be proud of that. It's a yellow card that was very, very needed. He had to do it because anything apart from that would have been dangerous for Hohoe United.
We've spoken about the quality that Medeama has and the absentees in this game, and we've not mentioned that winger, Derek Fojo.
Yeah, he's not really been missed, but you can't deny that he has so much quality, and that's the mark of this Medeama team. That's the mark of a champion or a team bidding to win the title, because even in the absence of one quality player, another steps up. And we've spoken about Mubarak, you see Fuzi not being around. We've spoken about a couple of players not being around. Sulemana not being around. We've seen Bafo, deputized for him. So that's the mark of a good team. And I believe Prince Owusu has also taken up the mantle. He's done great for them in the last couple of games he's played. He scored a couple of goals for them as well. And perhaps they would want these players to come back.
Salim with the drive, takes the deflection of Brian, is a goal kick.
And he's been moving in an advanced position in the last couple of minutes now, you know, because Medeama are dictating the tempo of the game and they are finding spaces, and that's why we're seeing him in, you know, shooting range.
Salim Adams was on the score sheet when Medeama beat Nations by 2 goals, 2-1. He scored a late 85th minute goal. Nyako trying to look for Brian, and Musa arrives to pick it up.
Good reading out of the game by Musa. There's a pass that nearly found the striker.
Osafo. Here is Osafo. It's a good ball to Usman. He goes past Kamara Dini. He goes down. And referee whistles for a handball against the Hohoe captain.
Now for a second, everything stopped here. For a second, you're asking, what was it? Oh, he slips, falls, and just handles the ball. And ironically, that would have been, you know, a match-winning moment for Hohoe United.
Ati on the ball for Hohoe. Can't go past Riksaki. That's what to send across, but it's wayward. 83 minutes. Hohoe United are chasing the winner.
And they are exploiting the right-hand side of the Medeama defense. And they are exploiting the space being left by the attacking fullback again. And the last 3 incursions they've made has come from that same side. We've seen Ati going from there. We've seen Safian, Musa, Osman also move in from there. Medeama will have to be very, very careful not to drop their guard.
Usman. Ganiu. Ati's offside. Flag goes up, and Senna Ati's been flagged offside.
And that comes out of dismay of every single heart of Hohoe United fan here. And just look at that. It's tight. It's tight. And you know, it's quite difficult to just measure the space between these two players, the last Medeama defender and then also Ati.
Hohoe United will next travel to Abrankesi to play Nations FC on match day 9 of the Ghana Premier League at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. For Medeama, is a huge game at the Nana Ajimambedu Stadium in Domahinkro, where they play against another impressive side in the Premier League, Aduana.
Tell you what, that's the first title decider of the season. Top of the table clash there, Aduana. And they've been so impressive at home. You talk about Aduana playing at the, you know, Nana Ajimambedu, the first park, you know, scoring late goals week in, week out. It's always going to be a tough test for Medeama.
Kwame Paul, Kingsley Brian, Kamara Dini, Nyako, Salim, Kamara Dini, Sake, Mensah, Nkrumah. Good run from Kelvin Nkrumah. Lovely solo move, but nobody to the end of it. Also was sandwiched in between two red jerseys. Ganiu can't get to it. Gold nose. Jack Pasu comes in for Desmond Bafo for Medeama, and left back being withdrawn for a box-to-box midfielder. Now, Desmond Bafo has been decent at left back for Medeama Sporting Club. Fatau Sulemana has got the experience and that exposure, but this one has just begun scratching the surface of his talent, and already He's getting rave reviews from week in, week out performances. Rexaki. Braye is beaten by Adomako, but he gets the ball again. Kingsley Braye. Lovely dribble pass. Adomako, he took a shot, got a deflection off Kwame Paul, nearly caused problems. He ends up as a Medeama corner. Beautiful step overs, and just took a wicked deflection of the centre back Kwame Paul, and it's a Medeama corner. Here is Saki. Nkrumah with a cross, away by Kwame Paul. Medeama scored just a few minutes before the end of the halftime, but it's Hohoe who are pushing for the winning goal. Captain Usman is a chance for Hohoe. Here is Ganiu. Can he score? And it's missed. Goodness. How did he miss from this range, Abbas Ganiu? Glaring scoring opportunity. Lovely run from the captain Safiano Usman. Jakpasum missed, and it fell gladly to Abbas Ganiu. Every quality striker should be scoring from this angle. He's let his team down. Now here is Prince Owusu. Flag goes up for offside against Henry Nyako. "89 minutes, one more minute before the end of the 90 minutes of regulation time. It's Hohoe United 1, Medeama Sporting Club 1 at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. Safiano Usman. Daniel Osafo. Sena Ati sends a long one in. Ganiu, and that's the second goal, but the flag is up for offside. Flag goes up for offside. Ganiu thought he had made up for that earlier miss, but he was in an offside position. Good decision. And the fans surprised about the decision. Just look at him. He was inches offside. Five additional minutes. 5 minutes of additional time. It's already 90 minutes at the Hohoe Stadium. Kwame Paul and Safiano Usman seeking for explanations from the referee why Abbas Ganiu's goal had to be flagged offside. These fans at the Hohoe Sports Stadium are just used to winning during their days in the Division 1. They won 16 straight home matches, scored 36 goals and conceded only 10, and that played a crucial role in helping them qualify for the Premier League. But the reality from the demands in Premier League football is staring at them. Ibrahim Tanko has got a lot of thinking to do, how to ensure they go back to tackle without conceding a second, as Hohoe United seem to be piling the pressure at this point. The traveling fans from Takwa enjoying the action. The current hold up here. There was a bit of confusion as assistant referee had to leave his area after he disallowed that goal. There were some reactions from the fans, but it should be fine now. We're into 2 minutes of additional time. Medeama are coming up with the final substitution. Paul Yeboah is coming in for Manuel Mante. The result, if it stays the same way, will keep Medeama on top with 17 points. They're followed by Aduana, who have 15 points. Here is Daniel Osafo. Free kick for Hohoe United. As God knows, Jack Pasu comes under pressure, and Paul Yeboah finally going on to commit that foul. His first involvement in the game, and is to commit a foul. That's a very dangerous area. Daniel Osafo to take the free kick for Hohoe. The fans are rooting for their winning goal. Osafo to take the free kick. All you hear in the stadium is a shout for a goal. Osafo will take it. Osafo swings one in, and Che gets it away for a corner. Brave goalkeeping by Felix Che to hand Hohoe United a corner kick. Hohoe United will climb to the 9th position if they stay this way on 9 points. Some confusion in the 16-yard box of Medeama as Hohoe gets ready to take the corner kick, which might just be the final action of the game. Haruna has been cautioned by Aduntra. Corner taken. Ball is headed down by Braye. Kelvin Nkrumah allows Prince Owusu to take over. Now they want to turn defense into attack. Owusu, the long searching ball, was looking for the run of Braye, but Kweku Musa will arrive for Hohoe. All eyes on referee Jacob Aduntra now. We've done 5 of the additional minutes. We're into 6 additional minutes now. It's Hohoe United 1, Medeama 1. He's had a very decent afternoon, Kweku Musa. They did a decent job by bringing him on from Narnia. He had a spell with Montreal FC where he was coached by former Asante Kotoko striker and now Medeama strikers coach Eric Bekoe. Now here comes Bernard Nyako. Here is Nyako. Lovely play. He goes down. Free kick for Medeama. Free kick for Medeama in a very dangerous area. Salim Adams will step up. Prince Owusu shows desire as well. Kweku Musa has been adjudged the man of the match. I was telling you about him a while ago. He's risen through the ranks. Montreal, Narnia, and now in the Ghana Premier League. He's one to look forward to. Free kick for Medeama. Kweku Musa, the man of the match, would not like to concede. After that brilliant display has earned him the MVP. Free kick for Medeama. Prince Owusu, Salim Adams, Kamara Dini Mahmudu. It will be Salim Adams. He might go for power. Prince Owusu kills one and it's close. That's the final whistle. It's over here at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. It's been a thrilling encounter between the two teams. Great performance by both Hohoe United and Medeama. Medeama clearly slightly on top of affairs. It's over here, and Medeama will maintain their spot on top of the league log with 70 points. Hohoe United will climb to the 9th position. Francis Odum scored the opening goal for Hohoe, and Medeama equalized through Abdul Salam. Full time at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. Hohoe United 1, Medeama SC 1.
Let me see the outside goal. For goal on the outside there. Outside goal, Medeama.
What an end to a thrilling encounter here at the Hohoe Sports Stadium, where it ended after full time. Hohoe United 1, Medeama Sporting Club 1. So it ended honest even between these two sides. But then for Medeama Sporting Club, they still remain at the top of the Ghana Premier League table. And I've been joined here by the head coach of Medeama Sporting Club, Ibrahim Tanko. Coach, should I congratulate you? But 1-1. After 90 minutes, would you say it's a valuable away point for you?
No, I think looking at the performance we put on, I think it's a deserve. If not, normally we should have won because we have most of the game, we have the chances. But I think away, you take 1 point, it's good. It's okay.
Interesting. But you look at the setup from your side, your fullbacks bumping forward. Were you just disappointed that you just add enough bite to the attacking line?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, we had the chances. Even our defenders, someone like Kamara Dini, have almost 2. But I mean, we are playing away. I mean, going 1-0 behind, you have to do more. And I'm happy that they came back, and this kind of performance is good for going forward.
Now you've picked up one more point. You've opened up a 2-point gap between yourself and the second place team. Are you scared that at the close of this match day, you would drop from that position?
No, I mean, this is the 8th match. I mean, we still have enough game to play. So I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at our performance week by week. So this is how we plan, and I think it's the best. We don't have to look at who is coming, who is not. We just we have to go game by game.
And with the injury situations, what are you expecting for next week?
Yes, I expect Fuzi Taylor to come back. I expect Yusuf Mubarak, our captain, to come back. So let's see. And tomorrow we'll do the final exams and then we'll see.
Thank you very much. Wishing you a safe journey back to Takwa. So that's the head coach for Medeama Sporting Club, Ibrahim Tanko, giving his assessment. He says he's not worried that maybe at the end of match day 8, his side could just slip from that top spot. But then I'm here with the head coach for the home side, Hohoe United, Tijani Abdul Bashiru. Coach, tough game for your side. What do you have to say about this game?
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, we play against a complete team. You know, they have a lot of experienced players. So I think my boys really deserve the credit. They do so well, but I think we have a lot to learn, especially in our defense. We have to work on that. We have a lot, but I'm very happy with the performance.
Interesting, but you look at the setup, it looked like you just gave away possession to Medeama and you play with a low block. Was that the intention right from the onset?
Yeah, that's what after we got our early goal, you know, but it didn't work for us, so I think we have to change the plan, you know. But don't forget, we are babies and we are playing with our fathers, you know. So I think, but for me, I'm very happy with the performance of, although that wasn't the scoreline that we want. But I think I'm cool. We have to go back and work hard, especially in our defense, because each game we'll be conceding a goal. I think it's not good for the team.
In back-to-back home games, you've dropped 5 points. You've just won 1 over here. Does that get you worrying about your performance in front of the home crowd?
Yeah, of course, yes, because you know, we are a team that we have a target we should stay in the Premiership. So I think what can help us is winning our home games, you know, but drawing and losing points, I think I'm a little bit worried. But like I said, we have a lot to work. And I think we'll prove on that.
And what do you have to say about your goalkeeper, Musa?
Yeah, he did so well, and he deserved the man of the match. And I'm happy for him. He should continue working hard.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Abdul Bashiru Tijani is a head coach for Hohoe United, and he says, yeah, they've dropped points. In their last 2 home games here, they failed to win. They lost 2-0 to Medeama, and then they've drawn 1-1 against Medeama. But then it's now time to speak to the most valuable player from this game as the goalkeeper for Hohoe United. Musa, such a top game, but I congratulate you. Now, Mimbisao, when you with 1-1, I'm a boy, Neno.
Actually, I meningi because your ball games now your home near lose the 2 matches away home. No matter about draw I'm not happy at all because you can see in the field of play, the big money at the end of the day.
But performance and now you think sir and I'll save Hohoe United from losing this game?
Me try there.
But catch him performance for and now who is saying performance for and who is saying
me say and then put the manshara nya there ba
one shara nya
there ba as time go hwe there ready be say bibia ready ti bienia emphasize that ready anya ba e be wi say e be work hard bi na ya share next game they bet my.
That's it. Congratulations once again, Musa. So Musa is today is part of the match in that game between Medeama FC and then sorry, did I say Diana? No, Hohoe United also drawing 1-1 against Medeama Sporting Club. So it's been a thrilling game. The game saw 2 goals. Both came in the first half, but then sadly for either side, we couldn't have a winner after 90 minutes. It's still live coverage of the stellar Saturday fixture from the Hohoe Sports Stadium. My name is Josiah Kukwe. We are headed for a break. We'll be right back. Francis, what a game we just witnessed. But then 1-1 is all these two teams could settle for. But who does it feel more like a loss to?
Definitely got to be the home team, Hohoe United, because the way they reacted in the second half, everything that we spoke about in the first half analysis, is like they were listening to us. They replicated same in the game, and you saw how they gave Medeama problems in the second half. And someone might be tempted to ask, why is it that they left it late in the second half to do the right things? They took the game to Medeama, played in their faces, pushed them to the wall, carved them open. They were looking for the penalty. The referee never gave one to Senati. They were looking for the odd positive goal to win the game. They got it in the dying embers of the game. Until we see the highlights of the game, we can't judge. But personally, if that's an offside, then it will be close margins, very tight. You can tell the outcry of the supporters at the final whistle, and they really felt like it's 2 points thrown away. But I understand how they feel. But I think this is by far one of the finest second halves they've played here at the Hohoe Sports Stadium.
But for Hohoe United now, 2 straight games here, and they are still winless. You think they are losing that fear factor on this ground?
See, Josiah, you have to understand the team that confronted them today is Medeama, the team on top of the Ghana Premier League. And Medeama themselves, they are playing some fantastic stuff in the division this season. They never played like they were playing away from home today. You look at how they played. They probed the pitch, played the ball into attacking channels. They played on like free-flowing attacking football over the course of 90 minutes. They never sat back. They were not ready to make the home team have a field day and play like the way a typical Ghanaian Premier League team will go away and try to look for 1 point. Today they came out gun blazing on all cylinders. They were looking out for the outlets to win. So it tells you Hohoe United played something. They are a new team in the league. They are trying to adjust to the rhythm of the league and the demands of the league as well. But the way they played with Medeama in the second half today, if they can continue to play like this, then trust me, their supporters can dream of survival in the Ghana Premier League.
But we are looking at the top of the table now. It's 17 points for Medeama and then 15 for Aduana. How close can it get between these two? Aduana play tomorrow.
You know, Aduana themselves, in the past season, sometimes they press the self-destructive button. Sometimes they start the season very well, mid-season, then problems, internal wranglings, on-pitch issues, off-pitch issues. But this season, the way they are playing in the division, it tells you that they are really going to have a proper crack at the Ghana Premier League crown. They really want to win the league. If you look at their social media commentary, they tell you they really want to win the league. And everybody has the right to dream. 2 million Ghana cedis, the prize at stake. And everybody would love to grab that and go to Africa and be ambassadors of the Ghana Premier League. If you look at it, Hearts of Lions are in the mix, Kotoko will be in the mix, Hearts of Folk will be in the mix, Medeama. You look at Aduana themselves. So this season, if you look at the league so far, about 6 teams can have a proper crack at the Ghana Premier League table. So we are just seeing the best teams juggle among themselves, not to forget Bibiani Gold Stars, the defending league champions as well. So this will be one of the finest Ghana Premier League seasons that we'll witness in about 10 seasons now. It will be one of the finest.
All right, thank you very much, Francis Aboibo Blackgate. And we brought to you live coverage of the stellar Saturday thrilling fixture here at the Hohoe Sports Stadium. Well, after 90 minutes, it ended harness even between the two sides. Hohoe United drawing 1-0 against Medeama Sporting Club. And that's where we call it a wrap on the Saturday edition of Match Day 8 of the Ghana Premier League. My name is Josiah Kokwe, and on behalf of everyone here, we say thanks so much for watching, and catch you tomorrow at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, where Kumasi Santi Kotoko will be taking on Karela United. Bye for now.